Okay, in this video I will talk about inverse function. So inverse function, basically an inverse function goes the other way. So let's see an example. So here we have a function fx equals to 2x plus 3. So we know that the function f basically first multiply x by 2. So if we input an x, get 2x first, then add 3 on it. So we have y equal to 2x plus 3 with any input of x. So the inverse function goes the other way. So that means if we know the value of y, and basically we want to know what value of input will become a y. So we just go inversely, right? So we want to solve this function y equal to 2x plus 3, and by solving it we first subtract by 3 and then divide by 2. So we have y, the inverse function equal to y minus 3 divided by 2. So the inverse is usually shown by putting a little -1 after the function name. So like here, it's called f inverse. So the inverse function can be written as f inverse. The variable is y equal to y minus 3 divided by 2. And normally, for a function, we just want to put the variable as of x. So if we put x, the inverse function will become f inverse x equal to x minus 3 divided by 2. So for any inverse, so if we know the function fx have an input x and become y, and we know that an inverse function will basically put y into an x. So that means any point xy will become yx on the inverse function. So that means the inverse function is a reflection of each other in the line y equal to x. That is, it's symmetric with the line y equal to x. So take a look at this blue line is the function of fx, and the inverse function of fx is just the symmetric one with the line y equal to x. So sometimes, most importantly here, we have to learn how to calculate the equation of an inverse. So let's see an example. Example 1, so fx equal to 3x plus 6. So it's a step-by-step process. So first, we know that in inverse function, the point yx is on inverse function. So we first, here, we first interchange x and y. So y become x and x become y. Then we just solve it, right? So by solving it, we move 6 to the left-hand side, then divide by 3. So we get y equal to x minus 6 divided by 3. Then that's how we determine the inverse function. And if we graph it, we will see they are symmetric with y equal to x. But sometimes they will give you some difficult questions, just like this one. I see many students do not know, have trouble when calculating the inverse. So let's take a look. So we know that y equal to 2x divided by 1 over 1 minus x. So first step, we interchange x and y. So we have x equal to 2y divided by 1 minus y. And naturally, the next step, just move 1 minus y to here. we expand this one. We got x minus xy divided by 2y. But many students don't know where to start from here. Here is a very important step. So it's called isolate y. So basically, we consider x as just like a constant. Consider x as a constant, but move everything involve y to one side. So this involve y, this involve y. So I just move this part to the right hand side. This is called isolate y. So we have x equal to 2y plus xy. And the next step is, right, because we consider x as a constant, so we can factor y, and this becomes y times 2 plus x. So y is isolated, right? So then the last step is divide 2 plus x on both hand side. So we have x equal to y equal to x divided by 2 plus x. So the inverse function is x divided by 2 plus x. In summary, so we can find the inverse of a relation by interchanging the x and y of the graph. The graph of inverse relation is the graph of the relation reflected in the y equal to x. And the domain and range of relation become the range of domain. This is very important. Okay, thanks for watching.